Hey there, Scoobies. The Puppet Show is a significant episode, if only for one reason.
We think school events are stupid, and we think authority figures ought to be made fun of.
But seriously, be a fan of the episode or not, it had the series' mantra at heart. The very opening is a subversion that sets us up for the twist. Like, come on. We follow the viewpoint of a monster in a first-person view, and it comes across Sid. It's all right there in the intro. And like a magic show, we forget all about his perspective through misdirection. That is to say, Cordelia's caterwauling.
I decided long ago.
This does set us up nicely for the events that actually set the episode apart. The talent show, and who's leading it. Buffy and co come along to tease Giles, though they're cut short.
I think I just found 3 eager new participants for the talent show.
What?
To Giles' amusement. God, I love this guy. Snyder's character is encapsulated immediately.
Yes.
My predecessor, Mr. Flutie, may have gone in for all that touchy-feely relating nonsense, but he was eaten.
The next part is particularly fun, knowing that Sarah Michelle Gellar actually has a phobia of puppets.
Ew, dummy.
Dow! Mine!
Xander's jump at the mime could be considered foreshadowing for the next episode. And did anyone pick up on Willow's line?
I think dummies are cute.
I'd appreciate this subtlety more if we hadn't been outwardly told of her crush in previous episodes. Morgan begins with a terrible act, which Sid quickly makes look like something a little more special.
I didn't sleep at all last night.
All right. Time out. Let's stop this before someone gets hurt. Kid, you are the worst. Even I can see your lips move.
We cut to the girls' locker room, where yet another student is killed off without so much as a peep from the police department. Snapping back to the Scoobies, they are discussing talents, and Willow's hesitancy to get in front of people is our second reference to fear.
You play?
A little.
Well, that's cool. You could accompany us and we could attempt to sing.
Oh, in front of other people? Then, no, I don't play.
I'm unsure if these references are intentional foreshadowing for the following episode, but it feels like a beta test of foreshadowing prior to the series using it on a grander level. Buffy offers some discipline to Morgan and Sid.
You know what they say. Once you go wood, nothing's as good.
Okay, Morgan, we get the joke. Horny dummy, ha ha. It's very funny, but you might want to consider getting some new shtick. Unless you want your prop ending up as a Duraflame log.
Before we transition to Principal Snyder.
Kids today need discipline.
It's almost like they planned it.
I know Principal Flutie would have said kids need understanding. Kids are human beings. It's the kind of woolly-headed liberal thinking that leads to being eaten.
As we later find out, not just a funny line. Snyder makes some great references to previous episodes.
This place has quite a reputation, you know. Suicide, missing persons, spontaneous cheerleader combustion.
Before announcing...
From now on, you're going to see a very different Sunnydale High. A tight ship. Clean, orderly, and quiet.
This is, of course, immediately subverted by the body being found. Our Scoobies look over the evidence and we see a knife. That indicates that Sid should be the villain, despite what we know. They start to interview other students and are led to Morgan. Well, except Xander.
All I can think is, it could have been me.
We can dream.
After catching Sid and Morgan acting strangely, they all conclude Morgan's their guy. Buffy goes to check his locker and runs into Snyder.
There are things I will not tolerate. Students loitering on campus after school. Horrible murders with hearts being removed. And also smoking.
It's good that he has a priority list. And in his defense, these are good things not to tolerate as a school principal. The episode tries pointing a finger at Snyder as the potential villain during the second half, but nothing he does here correlates to that. It's just smoke and mirrors. After a chat to Morgan, Sid heads to Buffy's house. Awoken by a creepy pattern of tiny feet, Buffy, and no doubt Sarah, are freaked out. Despite being the Slayer and super strong, Buffy reverts back to a childlike state, almost hiding behind her mother. Back at school, one of the kids is practicing his magic while Cordy is harassing Giles.
Your hair,
There's something wrong with my hair? Oh my god.
Xander was right. It worked like a charm.
Buffy reveals that Sid's alive and the others try to rationalise. This is another example of her wrestling with her inner self, like we saw in the episode Angel.
I think Sid was in my room last night.
With Morgan?
Did you see him?
Attacked you. How?
It was like it pounced on my face.
Like a cat.
I think it went out my window.
Like a cat.
Possibly the nightmare of somebody who had dummies on her mind.
You did say they creep you out.
In class, Sid gets confiscated and Xander takes the opportunity to steal him.
I am not real.
Xander, quit it.
Red Rob! Red Rob!
Xander's creepy jibes at Buffy cause her to get the ick. Despite being an ad-libbed reference to The Shining, this does add to the foreshadowing of the following episode, Fear, along with both Buffy and Sarah Michelle Gellar's dislike of puppets. Willow and Giles go about researching, leaving their dummies together, and Buffy goes looking for Morgan, running into Snyder again. Buffy finds Morgan, and we finally get the showdown between Buffy and Sid. I always found it odd that when the chandelier falls on Buffy, she is lying flat with her arms by her side, like she was getting into bed. But here we are. Buffy and Sid realise they're on the same side and join forces to take down the demon. While waiting for Giles to assemble the students for the talent show, Sid gives a little of his backstory, and we get a little more subtle foreshadowing.
When I say free,
You mean dead.
don't get sniffly on me, sis. I've lived a lot longer than most demon hunters. Or slayers, for that matter.
We get yet another hard push for Snyder as the demon, and Buffy then finds Morgan's brain. The Scoobies realise the demon still needs a healthy, intelligent brain,
What's the square root of 841?
29.
and as Willow is with them,
Giles can handle himself. I mean, he is really smart.
though clearly not that smart.
Shouldn't it be aimed at my neck?
Buffy swoops in to save the day, and the others aren't far behind. Now, I've spoken before about how Xander has literally saved the world and his friends, but I totally forgot, like most of the fandom, about this scene, where he literally saves Giles from having his head chopped off. Sid makes the final blow, killing the demon and himself, and the episode ends with the curtains opening to start the talent show.
I don't get it.
All in all, the episode is a fair Monster of the Week and doesn't really set itself apart in any meaningful way. The real shame of Season 1 is that this is the closest that we get to a Giles-centric episode. The themes are all there, a demon needing an intelligent brain and Giles acting as Buffy's metaphorical mind. But with so much of the plot built around the twist, there isn't much time devoted to this idea, which is a shame. Finally, Sid's reference to living longer than most Slayers, and understanding that killing this final demon will lead to his own demise, acts as a precursor for what's to come. In his own way, he's showing Buffy what she may have to sacrifice.
You mean dead.
Don't get sniffly on me, sis.